What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. And I got to cover something that, it took me a while to get to this topic, but, I'm here now. I want to talk about the Canelo Alvarez Dazn commercial. You know what I mean? I've seen it a couple times, and I see how it's being marketed, and it makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? Canelo Alvarez, of course, for those who don't know, he signed a $365 million minimum deal with Dazn to fight for 5 years. So that's like 2 fights a year, right? And Michael Buffer, of course, was in that commercial. He was the announcer, Dazn, and, he was saying, like, is it really free? And Canelo's, see, you know what I mean? And he's like, man, pay-per-view's screwed, see. That just shows you something. How things change. You know what I mean? Formats change. I used to be a real big fan growing up, you know what I'm saying, and going to Blockbuster and Hollywood Video. I used to love Blockbuster. You know what I mean? I'd go there with my parents, or my dad especially. And, we used to pick up like, 2 or 3 movies, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 4. I think you can get 5 max. And, man, we get that, get some popcorn there, high-ass popcorn, 2-liter of Coke or whatever. And then we headed home, right? Pick up some pizzas or something. That's a Saturday night. Best thing that I could imagine, right? Being a kid, And, other things started to evolve. Other things were invented, and introduced. And Blockbuster ran slap out of business. That Hollywood Video, which was their competitor, all that shit was gone, right? All of it. So, things change. Today is no different. Pay-per-view will eventually be screwed. I know how it's marketed. I had a UK sub, shout out to him. His name was Paul, I think Wilson White, I believe his name is. And I told him that I would make a video on this. So shout out to you. And he said he's from the UK, and he was like, well, why the hell is pay-per-view so expensive in America? And I'm like, that's simple. To answer this question right now, us as Americans, we are some money-grubbing society of people. We will milk something until it's bone dry. And then when it's dried up and the next best thing come around, we jump on that bandwagon. And then we'll milk that shit dry until it, we maximize all profits. It's capitalism. That's what it is. That's why pay-per-view is so high, because people, want the highest amount of profit for a particular thing. You know what I'm saying? They're not conservative with this. No, they are aggressive, or should I say they're not passive. We are aggressive, right? So, yeah, in pay-per-view, when people start paying $100 for pay-per-view, that's what killed it. That aggressive selling, and everybody bought the Maypac fight. That was the beginning of the end. That was the peak. That was the fight everybody was looking for, and they paid all their damn money and saw a mediocre fight between 2 of the best fighters in the world, right? So that's pretty much what killed that concept of pay-per-view being that expensive. So for boxing, people have a bad taste in their mouth. And of course, everyone has a phone now. Kids have a phone. Shit. I bet you a child that was born anywhere past 2010 or 11 will never know what it's like to never have a cell phone. Like, I know what it's like to not have a cell phone because, we didn't grow up with that. Our cell phones to us was like, they look like suitcases, Then they look like the old school cordless phones like Zach Morris used to have. We didn't have that type of thing. But kids do these days. Kids watch Wi-Fi, so they stream stuff. So it's a world of media. It's a world of streaming. That's what it's about. And it's not going to someone's house and watching pay-per-view no more. People are you look at the average person walking around, their heads down, looking at their damn phone, looking at their device, right? So they're either looking at it through their own data or they're in Starbucks, McDonald's, at their local gym, looking down at their phone, processing information. Since that's the case, they are implementing that streaming to everyone's everyday life. That's why it's so popular. That's why things like pay-per-view, man, they ain't paying no $74 for that. You know what I mean? And why you can pay $9.99, they ain't, who's going to do that? They're going to see, well, that's why you think Netflix is so popular, because you can sit there, you got about 200 damn movies or shows on one platform and people watch from that. That's why Blockbuster went out of business. People got tired of paying $3, $4, $5 for a movie when you could go to Redbox and get a movie for what, $1.50, $1.30? Do the math. That's why things work the way they work, because someone's going to come along and say, you know what, that shit's too expensive and I'm going to change it. And that's exactly what happened with Dazn. That platform is the way of the future anyway on the devices that we have. So it's going to work, and you got someone big, a huge pay-per-view star, or ex-star, should I say, that went to this platform. Canelo ain't worried about pay-per-view because they pay him so damn much. Why do you think actors are doing Netflix shows, like exclusive Netflix movies, like Will Smith in Bright, the Alien movie? That's an exclusive show. Why do you think that is? Because Netflix has paid this actor so much damn money to make this film. Hey, Will, we're going to pay you $30 million to make this film. You know what I mean? You think he won't jump on that? Like 2 times the money that he normally gets. He might get like 20, 25. I don't know Will Smith's salary, but he's a top star, right? But they pay so much for that. Just like they paid Canelo so much to put his face, his talent on this platform, Dazn. You know what I mean? So yeah, pay-per-view will eventually be screwed. Of course you have Al Heyman and stuff like that, but guess what? They're getting with the program. My last video that I just posted is Showtime is streaming the damn Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury fight. Why do you think that is? Because they need to compete. If they can't compete with things like Dazn and other streaming services, if they don't get with the program, they're going to fall through the cracks. And that's exactly what's going to happen to pay-per-view. If they don't get smart and say, let's lower these damn pay-per-views, or we're going to go out of business. Like, honestly. Because it's like this. I remember when Blockbuster, because I keep cross-comparing it to Blockbuster because that's something I can relate to, like a lot of you guys can. Blockbuster found out, shit, we got to do something fast. You know what I'm saying? We got to either lower these damn prices of these movies. Let's cut out all these late fees. That was another thing they were killing people at. So they knew, well, our profits is late fees. They charge so much per day or some shit like that. You know what I mean? And if you don't pay it, they'll send it off to your credit agency. People were like, hell no, right? So when they knew another platform was taking over, they tried to do something, but they did it too late. You know what I mean? You had Blockbuster Video online. You know what I mean? I think you still might have it, but nobody does that no more because there's so many other cheaper ways and better ways to get movies and content, like Netflix. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's just me wrapping it up. I wanted to talk about that commercial and what it represented. If you guys haven't seen the commercial, I'll put the link, below in the description box. Of course, please subscribe, guys. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.